I went to a live concert last night in London and saw something I've never seen a band do before, and I've seen like a 2,000 plus live performances by bands. The headline band, Thornhill, did something I don't know that I'll ever even see again. There were two incredible things that they did during the evening, and one of them happened during their main support band's act. I'll go into detail of what exactly happened there in a moment, but here's my kind of recap of that evening I saw. So it was Thornhill with support from Ocean Grove and Bloom, a full Australian band tour. This was at the O2 Islington Academy in London. Thornhill sold out this show, and they've just been on tour with Sleep Token. They've got a lot bigger since they were booking that particular gig. So I knew it was going to be packed out. I knew it was going to be cool. I really love their most recent album, Bodies. It's my favorite thing they've ever done. So I was very keen to go and see them perform, hopefully largely songs from that album. But first up was a band called Bloom. I've heard a couple of the songs beforehand, doing kind of various reaction things on Twitch, and I've been impressed with what I've heard thus far. They're a little bit more on the side of kind of chaotic hardcore with a mix of emo than is quite my flavor, but it was impressive, and I was interested to see what they'd be like live. They were good. They were really good. Genuinely very good. I thought the sound for them, the balance of it was pretty exceptional. About as good as you can do for a band that is that kind of that fast-paced at times, but also sort of chaotic and unusual in some song structures, some gruff vocals here and there, but also some high-pitched sort of emo singing as well. Very, very well balanced. They had tons of energy and a big variety to the song set list as well. There was a moment in the middle where it was quite chilled out. Very sort of very, very emo. I think at some point he had a call out to the crowd like, who likes sad songs? And everyone's just like, right. Yeah, they covered all the bases there. They did a genuinely good job. I still think it's not entirely my sort of balance of the kind of emo rock world. There's a little bit too much of the sort of, I don't know, like screamo element to it in terms of like emotive heartbreak stuff that I don't know, maybe it's because I'm getting older now, but I don't connect to it as much. But I was genuinely impressed with their performance. I thought they did an excellent job, and I did really enjoy watching them live. I'd recommend you see them live if you had the chance. I thought it was a really good show. After them was a band called Ocean Grove. I loved their most recent album called Odd World. Great sort of slice of nu metal sort of energy and groove. Very, very good album. So I was very keen to see what they'd be like as well. Boy, did they come with some energy. That was a very high-octane performance. The vocalist had great swagger, but again, like high-energy swagger. Lots of jumping around. Visually very entertaining, as well as, I guess, delivery style, persona. He had just a bunch of confidence and let that shine for the entire venue to enjoy. Super engaging live performance. All the musicians performed well. Actually, particular shout out to their drummer, who is a fucking monster. He was so impressive, really tight, wonderful flair on his various fills and things he was doing. Very, very impressed with him. Also, like, he had a piccolo snare on the side, which he used quite well. Very impressed with the musicianship generally, and it was a good performance. It was cool. I mean, maybe the bass was a bit loud at times, so some of the guitar-y moments were a little bit lost in the mix here and there, but I wasn't that mad about it. There was enough energy to the performance. You could hear enough of the vocals, certainly, that it didn't matter as much, and the drums sounded great too, so it was good. Very high energy, as I said. Good range of songs as well. There's a moment when the vocalist, who was, for the most part, strictly just on vocals, took up the bass guitar for a song, while the bassist took the lead vocal roles. So clearly a bit of talent and multi-instrumentalist abilities going on there, which is cool to see. And some of the songs absolutely fucking slapped. They have some really good dynamic variety within individual songs as well. Played with the crowd incredibly, and it was a very entertaining show. Very, very good. Now, I've talked about the whole show there, but something really unusual happened after they played the first two songs. I've never seen this happen before in my life. So, at the start of the third song, I noticed that Jacob and Ethan from Thornhill were at the side of the stage. I'm like, oh. And they looked like they were kind of coming onto the stage. So I thought, well, that's not atypical. You might get a singer from one of the other bands to come on stage and do a song with you. In fact, that happened in Bloom's set. One of the guitarists from Ocean Grove came on stage and did some scream vocals with them. But what they did, which I've never seen before, was the entire Ocean Grove band left the stage. And the entire Thornhill band, the headliner of the evening, came on stage, plugged in the mic pack, took up the guitars. I was so fucking confused. I'm like, did Ocean Grove just get 2 songs and now we got the headliner? What the hell is going on? Thornhill played the 3rd song of Ocean Grove's set. They covered an Ocean Grove song live in front of the audience during the main support act set. Such a cool example of encouraging you not to just come for the headliner. Like, come see the supports, because you never know what you might witness. That's a performance we're never going to see again. Ever, surely. It was so fucking cool. And they had a bit of a twinkle in their eyes. They realized, oh, this is a bit of a special affair. This is the last concert of this tour that they've been on with Ocean Grove and Bloom. So I think it seems like from everything they were saying on stage as well, they're all quite good buddies at this stage, very familiar with each other's bands and material, having toured over the years. So Thornhill clearly had learned how to play one of Ocean Grove's songs and did it in full, and it fucking slapped. It was great. Had a very Thornhill energy to it. So much so that I didn't know, is this like one of their older songs by Thornhill, just not aware of, and just randomly doing it? But the reason why I'm pretty confident that was a cover is because of what happened later on in the Thornhill set. Before I get to that, obviously Thornhill played that song, and then they took off all their instruments and gave the mic packs away, and then Ocean Grove came back on stage and they finished their set. What a fucking cool move. That's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. I love the support there from the headliner coming into the main support act and delivering one of their songs, which takes a bit of time and focus and interest and appreciation of their music in order to spend the time to actually learn it and perform it in that way. That was so fucking cool. Huge props to Thornhill for doing that, and for Ocean Grove for being part of that kind of fun moment during their set. Really enjoyed seeing Ocean Grove. They were fucking class. And then it was on to Thornhill's set. I've been looking forward to seeing them in this venue. I've seen them a couple of times before in support of Polaris at the Forums. I've seen them on that kind of stage. And I saw them at the Roundhouse when they were supporting Buried Tomorrow along with Make Them Suffer. And also another massive stage. So this is my first time seeing them in a smaller cap room. And I was very excited about that, especially because of the Bodies album, which is one of my favorite albums of 2025. And one of the albums I've listened to the most in the last few years. It is such a brilliant, loopable album, just so fucking tasty and great grooves. Love that from start to finish. So I was excited to see them headline that album at this venue. And as expected, they ripped it. They were fan-fucking-tastic. I know they would be because I've seen them before, but it was interesting to see, I guess, kind of almost more how relaxed they were. I mean, they've been on this run for a couple of months now. They're very, very adept at playing this live set, of course, but also headlining, knowing that the crowd is there to see them and their songs. It's a slightly different energy, which I really enjoyed seeing. And they were fabulous. All the musicians within Thornhill just completely crushed their roles there. In particular, I loved the drumming by Ben. It was so metronomically on time, and yet it had this kind of casual, almost lazy, but in the right kind of lazy as a drummer, like feel to it. It just felt flowy and groovy, and it was wonderful. But every once in a while, he would throw in some of the nastiest fills with great sticking choices, and it was, yeah, fucking awesome to watch them perform. And the crowd was singing along all these huge moments. There were a couple of moments where Jacob would have, leave space for the crowd to do the vocal part, especially in songs like Silver Swarm, for example, but didn't do it as any kind of a crutch moment. And actually, he did most of the vocals in most of the songs as well. So I liked the balance of that. I thought was pretty good. I thought the sound was excellent enough as well. You could hear everything nicely balanced, so that was also important for enjoying the sonic spectacle of a live performance. The only criticism I have really is that I think the lighting was pretty basic for them. It was like the first song, and I was in the photo pit kind of took some footage, so like it's pretty much just red. Just the whole thing is just red. And then I think the second song or so was all just orange. Oh, but it's all just blue. Like, maybe that's something they can do in future, is stepping up their production kind of choice and things. I know that costs more money, so there's absolutely a balance to be had there. This is a small venue tour. I fucking get it. But that's the only thing I thought was, like, maybe not as tremendous as it could otherwise be. But it did not matter. The performances sonically were fucking on point. Jacob handled all of the dynamic range of his vocal delivery styles brilliantly. They had a few older songs they threw into the mix, but happily for me, largely it was a Bodies album set, so I was fucking delighted by that. Now, there was one song in particular I was looking forward to seeing live, or hoping I'd see live, which was Under the Knife, which is an excellent song off the new album. But that's the other thing that happened that I've never seen happen before. Thornhill left the stage, and onto the stage came their main support act, Ocean Grove. They returned the favor. So Ocean Grove played in full Thornhill's Under the Knife. Now, I didn't know what was going to happen until the song started happening. There was sort of triggered background music instrumental that leads into that track, and that comes in. I'm like, are they really going to fucking cover a Thornhill song on Thornhill's main, like, headline stage in this gig? And that's exactly what they did. Now, I was a little bit sad they chose Under the Knife because I really wanted to hear Thornhill do that song because I fucking love that song. But in fairness to Ocean Grove, I think they crushed it. I thought it was great. I was even listening out to the moment there's a guitar riff where there's kind of harmonics to play, so incidentally within the riff, and the guitarists did it. Like, they nailed the song. I was very impressed with them. And then they head off the stage and Thornhill come back on. Such a cool move. And I checked with someone in my Discord server who saw this tour earlier on one of the other dates. I think it seems they've only done that at the London gig. I don't think this is one they've done every night, like swap a song. I gather that their final gig of this tour is a fun, triumphant way to close. They just thought, fuck it, why don't we come on stage and play one of your songs? You come on stage, play one of ours. I'd love to see more bands do that. I've never seen it happen before. And maybe it's just a testament to how good these musicians are. But both of the swaps I thought were excellent. Because there is a risk someone could just do a fucking hatchet job of one of the songs. But I thought it was great. Really, really cool. And says a lot as well about the stature and bravery and courage of Thornhill to take a bit of a risk there on an evening where, like it's a headline gig in London. It's no joke. But they did that because they thought it'd be fun. I thought it was excellent. I fully support them having done that. And it seemed like this tour meant a lot to everyone involved, all the bands that I mentioned earlier. And in fact, on the very last song, well, they did an encore, and I don't think they were expecting to do an encore. I think they were kind of done. They're like, all right, fine, we'll do a last one. It's the last show. Jacob was apparently feeling a bit sick that day. He woke up feeling under the weather, so it was asking a lot of him. But the whole tour came on stage, it seemed like, to kind of sing and play along that final song all together. So it's very cool to have seen the final gig of a tour like that one, but also, yeah, what a special occasion with the swap moments in the set, and great to see Bodies live, so many of the songs from that album. My brother and I talk about this all the time, but if you like a particular album, try your best to go see that band on that tour as soon as possible, because in future, Thornhill will not play that many songs from Bodies because they'll have some new album or new record, and the percentage of the older albums will be smaller and smaller. It makes total sense. So if you love a band's album, try and go see that album live as soon as possible, because then I was able to enjoy a massive amount of that album live and hear and vibe along with the crowd. It was wonderful. Really pleasant evening. I met lots of lovely people in the crowd, and everyone was enjoying the thing for what it was and enjoying the spectacle of the kind of swap moment. It was fucking wild. Excellent gig by Thornhill, and obviously they will never play a venue that size again. I don't know what venue they might be doing next. Maybe they're probably in the right realm to do the Forum in Kentish Town, like the Plot and You did last week. Maybe that's their next kind of move, but who knows? But they've been touring for 2 months, so they deserve a break. But what a tour they clearly did, and what a performance they did in London. I was very impressed, really, from all bands from start to finish, but Thornhill in particular, they're a very, very fucking good band. And if you enjoy recaps like this of my live gig experiences, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I go to gigs fairly regularly, and I review most of them for the channel like this. I've got a couple coming up that I'm hoping to check out as well. Electric Callboy, I'm due to go see as well at Alexandra Palace. Bad Omens with Bill Murray. You can bet I'm going to be talking about both those gigs upcoming soon. So thank you for watching this. Hopefully I'll see you in another one of these videos very soon.